Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marnise Nicole and I'm an acrylic painter. And today is a bonus video for y'all because I've created an artist tag. So if you've been to my channel for a little while, you know that I have a series here. It's the Meet the Artist series where I do a Q&A style video talking about my artist must-haves, my artist peeves, anything really related to me as a creator. And I wanted to share that series with you all in a more fun way. I wanted to create an art tag because I don't think there's enough art tags out there, and I had some specific questions in mind that I wanted to ask all of you guys. So if you do end up participating, please leave your video link down below so I can check it out. And of course, I'll be tagging a few people myself, but first, let's get into the questions. So the first question is, if you could only paint with one medium for the rest of your life, what would it be? And hands down, it would have to be acrylic paints. It is my favorite medium. It is the medium of choice in my household because I love it so much. I spend way too much money on it and I use it for all of my paintings thus far. I've tried gouache and I've tried watercolor, and I intend to try oil paints eventually, but right now I'm completely satisfied with acrylic paints. Question number 2 is, if you could showcase your work in any art event or venue or exhibit, what would it be? And I'd have to say it would be the Art and Chocolate event. I'm gonna link it down below. It's an event that I heard of a couple of months ago, and it's an event where they have chocolatiers and lots of professional chefs come and they create and they share their chocolate and food in the event. But they also showcase art, and all of the art is based around chocolate. And I love what the event sounds like. It looks like so much fun, and I wish they had a local one here because chocolate is my thing, art is my thing, and I think I could create some really great chocolate type pieces. So that would be the event. Question number 3, if money wasn't an obstacle, where would you have your dream art studio? And it would be in Paris, Paris, France, or that's very cliche, maybe in the south of France. I'll say the south of France because if you don't know anything about me, I am trying to learn French. I learn and I learn and I learn, starting at the beginning classes. I always get to the same spot and I end up stopping for one reason or another. So I know the bare minimum of French very well because I've taken the classes so many times. But I love France. I want to go there someday. I think an art studio there would be very cliche, but it would be very fun and I would love that. Question number 4, if you could only use one type of paint color for the rest of your life, disregarding white and black, what would that color be? And right now I'd have to pick green. I paint a lot of forest scenes. I'm kind of like developing this style as an artist who likes grass and trees and the whole concept of a forest. That's me right now. And so I think in order to paint these forest scenes, I would obviously need to have green, and green is a very nice shade. You can mute it down, you can darken it up. I think I could do with just green a lot. Although, if you can tell based on my lip color, I do love orange, so that would be second best. Although I don't paint a lot with orange, so not sure how that would work career-wise, but yeah. Question number 5, if you could paint a portrait of any entertainer or celebrity, who would it be? And this is tough. It would definitely have to be Beyonce, but like the first thing that came to my mind when I thought of this question would be Cardi B. And one, because if I did a Beyonce portrait, I think I would do something very realistic, black and white, you know, very strong. If I did a portrait of Cardi B, I'm pretty sure it would be fun with loud colors and vibrant and shaking all over the place, and I just would want that feeling to come through with the painting. But like, I respect Beyonce as an entertainer and an artist so much that I don't think I would play around with her piece. It would be exactamundo. Like, it would be so perfect and so traditional, you don't even know. But yeah, those are my choices. Those are my answers. Question number 6, if you could have any influential person in the world own a piece of your artwork, who would it be? And this would have to be Michelle Obama of the Obamas, because I think she was one of the most inspirational first ladies that we ever had, and I love the charity work that she did and her initiatives as a first lady. I love the work she put out. I love the community service that she built and promoted, and just health and wellness and everything. I think she should own one of my paintings. I would love to just send her one. I just want her to just take it and you know, go with it and just love my pieces, because I would die. Just a little bit. I would just die a little bit. Number 7, what would be a brand of paint you would be dying to own the full collection of? Every color, every sample that they ever created, and that would be the Carvin's line. Carvin Art Painting Supplies. It is a company that's based in France. See a theme here, guys? But they create these finely milled paints, and this is one of the bottles that I have. And again, Carvin, love them. So let me tell you about this. I had 3 or 4 of these paints. I got them very early on in my art career. Just randomly picked them up, not knowing anything about paint brands or the company or what kind of paint this is. This is professional grade paint. And it's so smooth. It is so beautiful. It's so vibrant. They have an amazing color selection. And if I could own every single tube, I would definitely give up every other paint. I would. I just 100% would. But when I first bought these, I didn't really know much about paint supplies and products yet. I was a new painter. I was maybe 6 months into painting on my own, you know, just learning and being self-taught. And so I would use half of this tube and pour it out on my palette and waste it, because it would just dry up because I wasn't using it. I just wanted the option. So I would pour all and squeeze all of this paint out and waste the paint. And now that I have learned more about, you know, paints and the difference between student grade, professional grade, and everything like that, I love those paints. And I can't believe I basically wasted 3 whole tubes of professional paint. Do not be like me. Question number 8, if you could be interviewed by any person about your creative process, your art collection, and yourself as an artist, who would it be? And I have to say, hands down, it's Will Smith. Ever since Will Smith has joined the Instagram community, I've been absolutely extra in love with him. He is so smart and talented and just very, very charismatic. He just interviewed an astronaut while in space, floating around in space on Instagram on live stories. Like, after that, I would love, that's awesome. That's amazing. First of all, I didn't know astronauts got Instagram. I didn't know that they had access to that in space. We're coming a long way, people. But I just think that he's an awesome interviewer and an awesome person, and he's just very chill. And I think we get along. Question number 9, if you had 1 year free to do one series and paint to your heart's content on one subject, what would that subject be? And I feel like if I had a year to just paint a series of paintings, a whole show with no distractions and no limits of supplies or money or anything, and I could just focus on painting for a year, I'd like to be somewhere very cool, like a real forest, and just paint around me. Maybe at an old worn down chateau in France, and just paint a different perspective every single day for a year. And that would be the series, 365 paintings of the same perspective from this like depth of a forest, or like deep in some kind of area. Like, that really sounds cool. I read a book once where a painter, she was an artist, and she painted or sketched or, you know, whatever, the view from her apartment every day. She didn't do shows, and she wasn't, you know, like an out there artist. And I'll link the book down below if you'd like to read it. But it was just a great perspective that she had. She had hundreds and thousands of these sketches of one window every day, with the sun coming in a different way, different people you could see on the street, but it was always this one window. And you kind of had a snapshot of like people's lives through this window, and I just thought it was a cool element. It wasn't the main focus of the book at all, but it just was really inspiring, and that's where that kind of idea comes from. So question number 10, what is one painting technique or theme that you wish you could conquer and incorporate into your work? And I really think that that would be just capturing and conquering realism. There's a certain fantasy element to my work. It's not real realism, not photorealism in any case. And I feel like if I had that element along with my kind of abstract and vibrant colors and bold painting strokes, I feel like it would give my work an uplift and an edge. Another skill would be just landscapes in general. I love the fact that people plein air paint these epic landscapes, and I really want some more skills in that. I want to go to some more workshops about landscape painting and color mixing and everything like that. So there's so many answers to this question, but those are the ones I'll go with for now. Question 11 is, in 100 years, what would you want people to say about your work if they just recently discovered it? And I would personally say that I would really want people to know the backstory of my work and then contemplate it and reflect it onto their own selves. Because with each piece, like this piece behind me, Taking Root, I have these little backstories that I create in my head, and I would really want that to come across, because this is a potted garden. Everything can take root. It can grow into these beautiful abstract, you know, worldwide concepts. You know, you can grow and you can learn and you can be a superstar in your own abstract way. You don't have to really follow anyone else. You don't have to be someone else's person. You can be your own person in your own little potted garden, and you can take root and be strong with taking root in your own self, your own personality. Like, I would want someone in 100 years to look at this piece and get that. Just know that instinctively, or because they read a blurb or because they follow my work. But I always want to have these little inspirational moments happening. And the whole reason for my channel and why I share my artist diaries and my Meet the Artist series and just my YouTube channel in general is because I want to always provide positive reinforcement to fellow artists. And so be it a fellow artist or an art enthusiast, I want that kind of message to come across. So in 100 years, if people get that, I think that's awesome. Now, there is the question number 13. If you could create only one style of artwork, what would it be? I'm gonna have to go with my guilty pleasure artwork, which is this right here, my Plus Love series. I love creating these series. It's so freeing and it's so fun, and it's very bold strokes and it's very fun colors and vibrant, and there's a lot of movement and it's a lot of focus on just fun and enjoyment and just kind of cool colors. And this is my guilty pleasure. I always want to create these pieces when I'm feeling really down because it brings me out of a funk, or when I'm feeling really happy because I'm happy and I just want to share that with everyone. So if I had to choose one, it would be in the style of my Plus Love series. What advice would you give to your younger self in regards to creating art? And I would give my younger self the advice to start and continue to create art as early as possible, because there's been several instances where I was introduced to art and I didn't take it seriously. So I would want myself as a younger person to take art serious and see where I can go with it. Because if I had been creating from high school or middle school or just doing art from there, I don't even know where my art would be. Like, this is 2 years into my art career. If I had started in high school, I would have 5-10 years of art experience and learning and growth. And I would love to see what that would be. So, you know, start, today, now, pick up a paintbrush. That's what I would tell them. Very aggressively. Like, you don't even know how good you'll have it once you start painting. Do it now. Peer pressure. And so the final question is to tag 4 people and let them know to try out this tag. You guys, if you try out this tag, I would love to see it. Leave your links down below to your channel so I can check it out. I just think it's fun. And so I'm going to be tagging Kara, you're tagged, David, you're tagged, Dora, you're tagged, and Tracy, you are tagged. I want to see these videos from you guys. Go ahead and let me know as soon as you do. I can't wait to see what some of your answers to these questions are, you guys. So I'll be looking out for them. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tag video. There's 15 questions for you to try out. Definitely, if you like this video, want to see more like it, like that button. If you want to see more, subscribe. Thanks so much guys. Bye.